Hi YouTube. It's Third Eye again. Peace and love to all the gods and goddesses, souls and spirits and angels. This is part 2 of how I found out I was in a manipulative toxic relationship. Now, things don't happen overnight, unfortunately. But as I look back and I remember about what was going on in that time period, I realized another red flag was I was being isolated. I was not allowed to talk to anybody for questions or for, to see where their thinking was. I wasn't allowed to talk to his family members. Nobody. If it wasn't him, I'm dead wrong. Another thing, he was always moody. A red flag, being moody. One minute he's feeling nice, next minute he's not feeling so nice. And I'm like, why do you feel so nice? I try to comfort him. I be there emotionally. I listen to him. I physically give him comfort. And on a spiritual level, I definitely know that I was doing my part, being my feminine self. And I always express myself, no matter what, and that's another thing, like, me expressing myself didn't really come off as me trying to figure out what's wrong. So yeah, and then we have us versus them, right? Us versus them, meaning the whole world is against them and we are the bad people. Everybody in the family is out to get him. But it's funny because when you think about it, there's always something that this person doesn't want you to know about them. So they make everything else about other people, but not them. They want to bring up what their grandma doing, what their cousin doing, what their mama doing, what the person down the block doing, the person on the job. It's never gonna be, what are you doing? How did you make these people feel? They always make me feel bad in a way about the things that I know, the things that I say, making it seem as if like I'm crazy. Like putting me in that gaslighting feeling, like, oh, you in delusion. You don't know what's going on. Like, what I know is not important. Downplaying my stuff, like, that's how you know it's real. when you have to question yourself, like, what's really going on here? Which is a form of manipulation, when someone wants you to be in denial and gaslighting you, making you feel like everything that you're saying and what you know is not to be true. Like, red flag. This person never talked about how they feel in situations or their life. Like, we never seem to find similarities or something that, what's the word? We never seem to find things that we both enjoy to bring us together. Like, it was never about making unity. Nothing could make us it was never about unity, which is another, lack of unity, meaning that one-sided. I'm always the one giving out me, but they're holding themselves back. Also, another important thing I want to address here in this, that a lot of people are not aware of, is that these types of people are not formulated overnight. It starts in early childhood. And then it gets to the point where they become a teenager and an adolescent, meaning in your 20s, where now this is embedded in their mentality, and the abuse and trauma that they suffered is the reason why they are the way they are. So please, if you know somebody who's been suffering through trauma and abuse in their early childhood life, try to figure out the root cause of why they are the way they are and the feelings that they feel. And it's sad because trauma does reshape your mind, and it's not a good thing. It'll make someone crazy. It'll turn them into a psychopath, literally, or even worse, you know. I'm not gonna say all that too much, but y'all know. You know, and unfortunately, it seems to me that through the things that I've studied, men are the most affected through abuse in an early childhood stage, especially physical abuse, and on top of that, emotional abuse. Because, you know, we're creatures that are wired different. Females are wired differently, and men are wired differently. And, you know, I'm pretty sure everybody has had some form of abuse in their childhood, but it just also ultimately depends on what are you gonna do to not become a product of that environment and a product of your abuse. And it's hard because a lot of people don't have an outlet. A lot of people cannot afford help to get a psychologist or get therapy, which ultimately leads them into this cycle of you know what. And also, people who also are like manipulators and that turn into, you know, crazy people, there's also a psychological play here, you know, of a neural imbalance, a neurochemical imbalance, meaning that something in their brain is not triggering for them, which is causing them to lack something or not have this, you know, normal response. This is why people who are narcissists and dark empaths and sociopaths and etc., they don't even know that what they're doing actually hurts someone else. They don't even feel their own feelings, and now that's dangerous. When you don't even know what you're feeling and you don't even feel it for yourself, you're just numb. You're empty on the inside, thinking that everything you do is right and it doesn't need to be justified. That's horrible. And some people live like this. There's so many people in the world like this. And if you happen to know someone like this, you know, you need to stay far away from them. You need to either see if you can resolve the issue with them, come to a mutual understanding of, you know, emotions and where they come from, or stay far away from them, you know. And if it's bad, you need to get the police or the law involved, you know. Don't ever try to talk a sociopath out of not doing something that's, you know. Also, people who are like this, they have the dark track personality, meaning they are narcissist, psychopath, and they have the Machiavellian mindset. We all know what a narcissist is. A person who loves themselves, pretty much. A psychopath is someone who has no empathy at all. And yeah. Another thing I want to also state is that when you are being yourself, I noticed when I was myself, in some things that he didn't quite register or know, he seemed a little bit upset about it. It seemed that his pride or his self-confidence would get cornered. So now he's become defensive. I just want to let y'all know that self-love is most important than anything in the world. Love yourself first. Put yourself first always, because you are the only one that you have. I only have this body. It's going to be me in it until the end. You know? I hope you all enjoyed these valuable lessons that I have given in valuable words of wisdom. So, I'll see you next time. Take care, everyone.